I hope you all are doing great. This is Gaurav Batra, founder CyberFred. Thanks for all joining this Saturday morning. So today, it's very special moment for me because this is a long time due. I will say this show I have been planning from last 2 years that there will be a right moment, and I want to do this show. In CyberFred from last 5 years, we have been doing so many webinars, so many events, and even CXO connects. So you must be thinking, what is difference I'm bringing in here? Why this is a new show? We already have CXO Connect. We are already doing CyberFred Thursdays. We are doing a lot of trainings, educations, and how this show is going to be different. So just to bring the perspective here, the shows, the events which we have done till now were always uh, about the knowledge sharing, about the technical topics, and even when we have done the CXO Connect, I request to those CXOs, please come and join me, and we are going to talk about a particular topic. Either it's a zero trust, either it's a disruption technologies, risk management, cybersecurity awareness, or whatever. So whatever the recent or the new topic which is going on, we call up those CISOs or CXOs or the industry subject matter experts, and we ask them to discuss about those topics, and then we ask them to ask your questions, get your doubts clear, and it was all about technical knowledge and uh, knowledge sharing, or basically discussing about the technical topics. But the thing which I wanted to bring in this show is how those subject matter experts actually become the experts. So no one was born expert, right? So everyone has their own journey. They have their own struggles. They have their ups and down moments. And there was a time when they actually decided, no, I have to go for cybersecurity. I have to opt for it. And that is why this new show called InfoSec Tales. And when you see Tales, on my left hand side, you will see there's the old era, the 100 years back, how people used to write those stories, that those fascinated and stories, and they talk about it in a way people enjoy it, love it, and learn from it. But the symbol which I have used, if you see here, the cassettes, right? Because today I have made a list of around 100 people who are going to be on this show. So we are going to record the first show live, and after that, it will be a YouTube series. The first episode will be launched on 5th of August, Friday, 5 p.m. And after that, every Friday, 5 p.m., there will be a new episode. So I have made a list of 100 people. So they are CXOs from the industries, or they are subject matter experts of a particular thing, or they are doing a good work for Indian community and India in the cybersecurity space. So all those people are going to be here, and most of them are from the era when we used to listen these stories or these music and everything on these cassettes. And that's why this represent the tales. I'm not going back 100 years, but I am just going back around 15-20 years, where they actually started their journeys toward cybersecurity, towards the infosec, towards the IT, or how they actually seen their first computer. So in these stories, in these infosec tales, I will be talking to those experts and veterans, and I will be asking them to okay, share us their stories, how they started their journey towards the IT field, and what triggered them, where they start with the infosec field, the cybersecurity, and what kind of challenges they face, the first trigger point, the incidents, or the cybersecurity stories which they actually have experienced by themselves. Till now, most of the people come like, in this particular country, something has happened here. In other country, or in this book, I have read something and this has happened. Here, it's no about the fascinated stories, or not about reading about something. It's just about their experience, the stories, the incidents which they have actually faced, what they have learned from them, and how they can actually share their learnings. And during this overall journey, how their family supported, and how their family got impacted, because cybersecurity is a big when you are in a cybersecurity field, your job is quite hectic, and was work-life balance managed or not. So that is how it is. So stories, if I give you an example, like, today, how I have been introduced to the hacking world. I started my BTech back in 2001, and I'm from a small town in Punjab, Samana, which is not even on the maps of India. If you go deep down and 28 kilometers from Patiala, you will find that scene. And I was never been even exposed to the international communities, the movies or anything. But when I started my BTech, the very the movies, when I started watching the Hollywood movies. So there was a movie called Swordfish, which I saw back in 2002. And when I was seeing, okay, so I have seen this computer journey and how the hacker works, or how this, that scenes in the movies, or the roles, or the cast, that was very fascinating to me. And I said, I want to do something like this. And that was the trigger point when I talked to some of my friends from Delhi, and we did a workshop in our college. We learned about the basic course of ethical hacking, and then the CCNA, the CEH, other certification followed, and my career, I started working into the cybersecurity space. But yeah, today it's not about me. Today it's about the guest which we have, and we will be talking about his journey. And I have many options to see, whom should I call as my first guest. And I was trying to get someone who is like me, who has come from a small town and gain heights in the cybersecurity. So today with us, we have Ravinder Arora. So Ravinder Arora is a one of amazing friend of mine, and he is right now a global CISO at Infogain. Like me, he came from a small town in Haryana, being a Punjabi boy, from the Palwal, and he has got 18 years of experience in technology and business professional, and he is currently the most awarded CISO in India. I think more than 80 plus awards he has in his kitty, and he has been talking to different forums, and very well-known personality in the cybersecurity space. He has so many certifications, you name it, either from risk to cybersecurity to audit to ISO. So he has everything in his bucket. He has been part of many communities like DSCI, Teach for India, HelpAge, and he has been doing a lot of good work for cybersecurity community. He has been part of many IT magazines, and he has apart from overall his cybersecurity space, he's a big time biker as well. And we gel together. Cybersecurity and biking is a very unique combination, and very dangerous one as well. So hey, Ravindra, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much. A very good morning to you, Gaurav. A very good morning to all of you who are, who took time on Saturday morning. I know it's holiday, 11 a.m. joining a session. It's not easy, but I think, it's going to be fun for sure. And thank you so much, Gaurav. And, I must congratulate you first to start something like that. We have been to the industry, and I think I have been to part of so many different sessions, so many panels, so-called formal one. These panel, we actually speak on some topic, and then, everyone is listening, and, that's okay. But I think there was definitely a need, some space for something like that, where, being some CISO, some CXO people can come and share their journey. And maybe newcomers, I think, upcoming generation can take some inputs from them, maybe some, mistakes that we have done in, start of our career, maybe listening to us, they can, avoid that. I know so many other, I mean, my journey is very, small. I know so many other friends from the industry. They have a fantastic journey. And I must say, small town guys rocks, no doubt. I heard about, your journey. Yeah, I heard about your journey. And I think thanks for this concept is going to be an informal one that you told. Is not, some so-called gyan, that we are giving on technical, but I think this is all about our experience. And I'm a bit scared with the rapid fire round. I mean, I have never been to any coffee with Karan show, so this really scares me. What you have in the kitty in rapid fire show. I'm sure there must be some hamper as well if I'm going to answer all.
Definitely, it depends. It depends how the audience is going to like your questions, how many views you will get, comments you will get, and if people says give the hamper, we'll definitely give you one.
So yeah, we'll try to win. I maybe one more award in my kitty 81th one. So I'm waiting badly for that, and
Sure,
so I'm
sure.
excited, and I'm definitely looking forward for for a great session.
Yes, and Ravindra, even just to start with the bang on, you said that people should learn from the journey, how you have started. But if I go back, the era of the cassettes. I hope you like this logo.
Yeah,
So this,
definitely.
you can correlate.
Yeah, yeah.
We have spent our nights
I'm a
and then.
big fan of Kumar Sanu songs, so I can definitely relate.
Okay, great. And if we are mostly have the same background, like the from a small town. I'm from Punjab and you are from Haryana, and I know when I see my first computer in 2001 when I started my BTech in my college lab. That was the time when I saw my first computer. Before that, I have not seen the computer in my life. How was your journey when you been exposed to this IT world and the computer world? I know we have been so far behind from those the guys in the metros, but how was your journey started to IT world and computer? Yes.
Yeah, so let me take you back to some I think around you know uh, maybe 35 years back. 35, 36 years back. I did my schooling. I born and brought up in a small town of Haryana, Palwal. I'm sure, like you mentioned, that your town doesn't exist on the map. I think same with my hometown as well. But that doesn't make us shorter or maybe in this world. So I remember I started studying in uh, I started studying in Saraswati Shishu Mandir, Adarsh Vidya Niketan. I think this whole my schooling has been done, and I'm proud. I can proudly say that I'm a part of a Hindi medium schooling I have done, and I don't have any shame in that. I think, but the roots that very strong in these schools. I think that was so. I did my schooling, from Palwal, and after that, I started studying in Delhi University for my graduation. I remember, I think it been 6 months. I started my graduation. I went to one of my cousins' home, and she was working on this, amazing thing, so-called computer. I was so fascinated. I was so fascinated with that machine. Gaurav, I can't tell you that, I think she was doing some coding. I tried to, get my hands dirty on that machine, and I was so fascinated. I came back to home, and I might told my father, and I'm from a middle
Mhm.
class family. My father used to work with education department. My mother, she was a primary teacher in a government school. So I told my father that I need that machine. I really like that. But that time, you can understand, वो जो middle class वाले होते हैं ना, suddenly
Exactly.
30,000, 35,000 nikalna is not easy thing. It's not easy. So my father, who was aware about this, that he told me, okay, I can't afford that right now, but I can give you another solution. If you are really interested in that, why don't you enroll yourself in British Library? British Library is based in Connaught Place, Delhi, where you can read books on IT, computers, as well as there is a computer lab, and you can practice there. I exactly remember 1,300 were the charges per year, that time. So I took that 1,300 rupees. I went with father and enrolled myself. And after that, that journey started. How it started. I get up early. I used to take a local train, so-called EMU. That trains are called EMU. So I used to take that train from my hometown to Connaught Place, Minto Bridge station. I used to take a local bus from there. I used to reach, British Library, where I read books, and मैं पूरा दिन वहीं पर बैठता था. I spent a whole day
Okay.
there. वहां पर books पढ़ता था. I used to practice on that computer lab. And amazing things was, if you remember that era of modem, DSL, modem, वो internet भी available था. So you can actually search something. or I don't remember Google was there that time or not. I don't think so. But, there was, I think, other search engine. I used to practice there, and
Yes,
that,
Yahoo was quite famous that time, right? And downloading
yeah,
image took
yeah.
ages. Yeah.
So I remember that. And then the same routine in the evening. I used to take up a local train, reach to, my hometown. I remember बहुत late हो जाता था. मतलब sometime, at 12 o'clock, 12:30 in the night, then have dinner. But I think I can say, in other, overall in my career, I think that time really helped me a lot to, learn new things. And, my struggle, actually, that was definitely a struggle, but I really enjoyed that time as well. I think very much.
Hmm. So your father said, like, join in there. So how you
Yeah.
will define his role, or maybe your parents or family role? Because when you are from a small town and then they are saying, okay, do this and make a career which is, bring you to the metro cities or somewhere. So how you say their support in your life in the initial days?
I think I always say that. I mean, I always say that, and I would like to take this opportunity today as well. I think biggest support, my parents, my sister, everyone. So they actually supported me like anything. And, I was not I mean, let me admit that I have a younger brother, I have an elder sister, and they were very good with their study, their education. They were topper, in my hometown. I was quite an average student. I must, tell you that. But one thing was very much clear that, if I like something, I give my 100%. And my father always told me that, if you're doing something, either you don't do it. If you're doing something, give your 100% and don't think much about, success and failure. This is part of life, but make sure that you are, fully involved in this. I think that learning, my, mother, she actually retired from a, primary teacher government job, and she's a very disciplined lady. She always, told us that education is very important. You can easily relate, Gaurav. I think, we middle class people, we don't have, so-called other businesses are running, or, maybe our parents are having, that FD of 50 lakhs. कि अगर पढ़ाई नहीं की तो चलो कुछ तो कर लेंगे. And when you don't have any other option, I mean, you have to study, you have to get your education, and you have to, stand by yourself. You have to do some job. And I think that was very clear. And that was, I think there was so much, definitely though, so much support from my parents. But one thing was very clear, that education is very important. Very important.
Exactly. And then, from that point of view, when you're talking about the middle class family and all, I remember that a Three Idiot wala dialogue, and whenever you want to do something, Abba nahi manenge. So that is
मेरे
there.
केस में अब्बा मान गए.
Great. Okay. So that is about how you started, and let's as people are watching here, and let's start with the trigger point, which I promised them, that journey of things. So what was your first job experience, and how many interviews you failed before you got into a job, and what was that first role you started with?
Okay, so I think very interesting thing and very good question you asked, because so many people ask me, pinged on me, on LinkedIn. I mean, let me tell you, I have around 15,000 followers on LinkedIn. So so many people SMS me, and people who are actually started their journey in information security. So they ask, sir, what was your first job? So let me tell you, it was not into the corporate world. I didn't start as an engineer. I started as a faculty, a trainer in one of the institute in Faridabad called STG Computers. And interesting thing is that, I did my diploma from, STG Computers. And that after once I finished my diploma, I think I was good with, overall my study of that diploma. Then that institute hired me as a trainer. I was 23 years old. I remember I started taking classes on computer hardware and networking, MCSC, if you remember, Microsoft Certified System Engineer.
Okay.
So that was certification program that institute was running, and I was taking classes on that. I was MCSC certified that time, and there were so many people who were elder than me, but it was really a fun ride. I remember I used to study in the morning, when there is some difficult topic, then I go back to the class. But overall, I think it was a great experience. I worked there as around 1 year. Now the interesting thing comes after serving as a faculty around 1 year. मैंने सोचा, let's explore this corporate world. Let's start with some organization where I can use my skill to actually manage some good computer network or some server architecture. And that I started giving interviews. Believe me, there was around 7 interviews continuously in which I failed. I used to, उस टाइम याद है हम पेपर की कटिंग में देखा करते थे, आज यहाँ पर इंटरव्यू है, वॉक इन इंटरव्यू, टाइम्स ऑफ
Yes,
इंडिया.
I know. I remember my times during when I was looking for my first job. I was in Bangalore and I have been to all the Electronic City, all their companies, given my resumes distributed. कि कोई तो बुला लो. So that
कोई
was
तो
my
बुला लो. Naukri.com, I don't know, वो famous नहीं था या I was not aware about Naukri.com or all these job portals, but I remember I used to, mark that. I used to reach that, destination coming from Pearl World, again, local train and reach to that destination. I failed in around 7 interviews. And believe me, Gaurav, it was not that, I was lacking knowledge or I was lacking content in those interviews. I don't know why, I actually used to get nervous very easily. Very easily, my confidence and everything just shaken. I remember in one of the interview, the interviewer who was, manager, IT, he was taking for some desktop support profile. He told me, Ravinder, give me, one advice. Why don't you open some shop or, do something in your hometown? I don't think so कि तुम्हारा कुछ corporate world में होने वाला है. You will able to make anything in the corporate world. That thing, hit me so badly. और गौरव, you will agree me. I think हम ये जो middle class वाले और small town वाले होते हैं ना, we don't give up easily, right? वो एक बचपन से होता है कि छोड़ना नहीं है ना? अगर कोई बोलता है कि ये नहीं कर सकते, फिर तो जरूर करना. So I think that was very much with me. I, came back to home, I prepared myself, and then I cracked my first, interview in the corporate world with CMS Computer as a desktop support engineer. I remember that. Now, interesting thing of that security journey. So my profile was not security. My profile was to install security patches. And there was one antivirus console which I used to monitor in a shift timing. Agar kisi computer ke aage, if you see that red mark, then you have to say, hey, there is a virus attack or maybe there is some possible infection. After working with, that around, 1 year, that desktop support team and especially doing things on security. So that time I actually realized this is one field I really want to make my career. So mujhe yaad hai ki there was one, incident where, one of the security guy who was working in security team was not able to resolve some problem. There was some, but I was so interested in that, I actually took into my hand. I requested, the security guy who was managing that portfolio, कि sir मुझे chance दो, let me sort out this problem. उसने बोला कि you are from desktop support team, you doesn't know about the security much. तो मैंने बोला नहीं sir, मैंने खूब पढ़ा है security के बारे में, let me do that. And I actually solved out this problem. And then my security journey started, and I got hired in Genpact in security team. I think we all know about, Sunil Varki. I think it will not good if I will not take his name, because Sunil Varki, my first boss, he was managing, overall security operations in Genpact that time. He gave me my first chance, to that, Ravinder, then you should join us if you have so much of, zeal for this security time. So I think thanks to Sunil, I always say, whenever I meet, interesting thing is that now in most of the event, Sunil and me, we actually meet with each other, and Sunil is definitely proud of me. But I always tell Sunil, this is just because of you, I'm into this, security work.
So that was amazing, Ravinder, knowing that your first experience or the cybersecurity experience, or Sunil have been your mentor during that time. And let me tell you, he will also be on this show. Out of those 100 episodes, one episode, I will bring him on board definitely.
I'm looking forward for it.
Yeah. So I think from your experience, I just see that you have a very strong foundation of IT first of all. Before even you come to the cybersecurity, going through those certifications, and then you mentioned 7 interviews you failed. I'm sure to get those 7 interviews, you must have applied at 100 places definitely, and then failing and then going. I can see that those tough times, and you started with the security. So before even I go into the Genpact and your further journey, during as a desktop engineer, or during while you were working with Sunil, so cybersecurity, working as a professional cybersecurity professional is not a gaga at all. There are ups and downs. So what was the biggest challenge you face, and that shook you up? Oh man, if I will not fix it, or if this not get fixed, my job will go. So what was that incident, or something on that?
Yeah, I think there are so many, and being into this information security field, I always say that you have to be on your toes. I don't think that we can say, yesterday was my relaxing day. I don't think so that it will be, because looking at so many attacks happening worldwide, and in my career I had many incidents, but I think I would like to share one incident. I think especially I was working as one of head of information security in one of the organization. I was attending a conference, in Pune. And then I remember I got a call that there is a attack of, our WannaCry ransomware. It's not on my organization, but there was attack on one of the healthcare, firm. I remember in 2018, if I'm not wrong.
So you mentioned Pune, right?
Yeah,
The
I was in
WannaCry
Pune. Yeah, I was in Pune.
CISO platform
CISO platform
event.
event. Yeah.
Yeah, we were there. I was
Achha.
also there, right? Definitely, I guess I remember.
So
Yes, WannaCry.
I remember, and there was I think this was the first, biggest ransomware attack which actually came in the picture. And, I started getting calls from office that, Ravinder, we are safe. Are we safe? I think that's the biggest question anybody can ask from a head of information security or CISO, the management asks. I remember I took the flight, immediately in the evening, I went back to the office. We spent weekend, there. We actually ensure that whatever required patch is there, that is installed on the machine. There was some SMB file sharing, if I get into the technical details. And then we made a process that anybody who will come with a laptop in the office on Monday, that laptop will be checked at the reception before connecting on the network. We use SMS gateway on the weekend to actually send people SMS that there is a ransomware attack happened in one of the firm in globally. We are not impacted, but we really have to be careful. I think that was incident because I was 100% sure that I really have to be take care of my organization from this attack. I really can't afford a single infection of machine in our organization. And I can say I think I was able to achieve that successfully. But that was nightmare. I think that I had some 3-4 sleepless nights. I remember that.
Oh, 3-4 sleepless nights, and that is not just one incident. I think that must have been, happening more different
More.
incidents during your life. So that is what the toughest part of cybersecurity job, because you don't know when the incident is going to trigger, right? Either
Definitely.
it's a weekend, you are relaxing on a beach, and then there is a breach. Can happen, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean being a CISO, when you're heading information security, I didn't think so that you have that leverage, Gaurav, that even you can actually switch off your phone maybe for half an hour. I don't think so, because everything there is back on your mind going, hey, everything is safe in my organization. I am sure there is not nothing bad is happening. So you really have to be on your toes. I mean, no weekend, no weekdays. I mean, definitely
then
weekend are there, but we
how?
really pray that weekend should be a weekend.
Okay, how you do work-life balance? I think many of people here on this audience, must be having question. So, what's your wife's reaction based on your busy schedule? And maybe it would have been happened. She wants you to go for a shopping out somewhere, and you are about to, sit in the car, and then you got a call from office. Oh, there is something happened. Open your laptop and fix that incident. So, how's her reaction? And overall, let's share some stories about your family, and how you manage your work-life balance, and what you do apart, how you relax yourself, from your cybersecurity journey. So there can be two things. When you are acting in the cybersecurity world, you go back to your family, and when you are tired with from your wife, you go back and work on some incident. Which one is more powerful?
Oh,
Let's know about.
so very interesting question, and let me take you back. Again, so when I started my career, I told you I was hired in Genpact, and I think, yeah, I remember that time. My wife, we actually, Gunjan, we met, in Genpact that time. We had our good, courtship period of 8 years, and then we got married. It's been 10 years of marriage now. Okay, so she has actually seen this, overall information security maramari every time. I think over these years that this guy, I think, was never relaxed. And the more I actually grew up in this field, I achieved this head information security or CISO. I think she's more habitual to now that my husband is always, I remember we went to Singapore. I actually remember for, some vacations for 1 week. I told my team, guys, only call me whenever, there is something urgent. But sometime, you get all this calls. So I think we were in Universal Studio and we were roaming around.
Oh my
Suddenly
God.
there were, multiple calls were coming. We need to go to the ride. She was a bit furious that, why don't you? But I think she understand it well. I think over the years, she's actually now habitual. And I think very good question, Gaurav, into personal balance between personal and professional life. I think it's not easy. Sometimes you really feel that it's not easy. Sometimes you really want to spend your, Fridays, your weekend, and, it's not easy. But I think with the time and with support of your management, I think I'm very fortunate, in the organization. My, immediate bosses were very good. Organization culture. Even currently, I'm working as global CISO with Infogain. I really have to be take care of around 17 geographic locations, globally. But let me tell you, I think we have a great culture in Infogain when it comes to, personal professional life balance. My bosses, my, leadership is very supportive. I think because of that, I'm, able to, manage that. And definitely, I really, love to spend time with my family. I have twin daughters, Amira and Ahana. I don't know any time they can come from behind. Even right now, Papa, how much time it will take? We are waiting
I
for
will
them.
love to see them if they are around. I will definitely love to see them.
So this is, way I actually spend a lot of time with there. They are around 2.5 year old. So I think this is the best time, actually best, a de-setting on, what I can say, relaxing moment that I spend with them.
Okay, I think this is a thing. Not only work life is challenging, but you have two twins at home. That is 2.5 years.
Yeah,
Then I think you have to manage both, and you require a lot of patience as well as a lot of strength to handle that. But when you were mentioning that management perspective, one of the things which I have seen in the cybersecurity industry, when your managers or IT people having understanding of IT or cybersecurity thing, it's very easy to convince them or talk to them. But how was your overall experience to from the management perspective? How supportive they are as a CISO or as a cybersecurity professional to you? And how was there any incident where it was very difficult to make them understand that this is something is required and that will make your life easy or your organization strong, or security postures, anything related to or those experiences?
I think, Gaurav, this is, every day with every other initiative, I think you really have to do that. And I mean, this is something I think very much, I would say this is part of our CISO KRA. So CISO cannot be only a technical security guy. I think that time has really gone. I think CISO should be a good influencer. CISO should be a good negotiator. He should have a tremendous convincing power. Every time if you'll go to the management and you will ask for that, this tool I require for information security, to strengthen my organization information security, the board will definitely ask for a business case. And that is very much fair. I think they must ask that. I mean, you are going to spend crores, in your organization on the name of security. It's never going to be easy. It's never going to be easy. So I think this is a CISO skill they must acquire. They should be a very good, they should have a powerful convincing skill and a very good, business influencer. They must understand business as well. I don't think so information security can work in a silos. And now another important topic, that any incident that I faced where I need money, for that, I think business continuity in one area. I will, I remember, in one of the organization, I was actually struggling to get, business continuity framework, because business continuity framework is like, it's like insurance money. You are paying premium every year, but you don't want to use that, right? You really want that.
Yes, yeah.
But this is one area. So I think there are so many, but I would say that CISO really have to be wear multiple hats now. It's not only CISO hat. They really have to wear multiple hats. Only then they can get, buy-in or leadership approval for any information security initiative in the organization.
Yeah, so during this conversation, I started talking about the journey of as a CISO and how you're feeling it. But yes, if I take you back to the times when you started, so there are many viewers who, or many people who just want to understand about the starting their career in cybersecurity. And I think you have mentioned that initially that you have done so many mistakes which you don't want people to learn, and that
Yeah.
is the one of the theme here as well. And if you have to give some advices to those people who are listening us right now, what you will say, uh, if they want to start their career in cybersecurity, what are the mistakes you have done they should not do, and what are the things which help you? One of the big achievement, I must say, Ravindra, you have total 18 years of experience, and in 18 years being a global CISO of an MNC with handling 17 geographical location, that is quite a big achievement. Okay, and definitely everyone will like to learn from your experience. So I will like you to answer this, then we will have a rapid fire round. And I know there are people who are waiting and want to have the questions for some questions from you they want to ask. So we will give some opportunities to them as well to interact with you live. And we have some CyberFred goodies as well to give away, some t-shirts which we will be giving on. So let's start with the advice to people who want to, either they are in the early profession or they want to start their career. So the mistakes you've done and the things which help you. And then I will directly move to the rapid fire and we'll see
Okay,
how you
great.
score.
I think very good questions, because I already told you I actually receive so many calls. I receive so many messages from different people who started their career or maybe studying even information security, information technology in different colleges. And believe me, everybody want to become CISO. Everybody, nobody want to become the security engineer. I don't know why, but I really witness this thing. But I think I would like to take this forum, I will like to use this forum to convey my message that everyone really have to work on the basic, and it's a long journey. When you really want to become CISO, I think you really have to work on the basics. You really have to work on the computer fundamentals. Let me give you an example. I was taking interview for one of the guy for information security manager position, and I asked him about, can you tell me OSI layers? Then that guy was shocked. Hey, sir, I'm for a information security manager interview. What is need to be done with the OSI layers? Then I told him, really, if you really have to be make your career, I mean, you have to review network architecture. You really have to review security architecture. You have to see the best place of where security tools will take place. You really have to be involved in so much technical discussion. If security computer fundamentals are not clear, I don't think so you will be able to reach the top. I really don't think so. So, I always say people that try to learn even some coding. I did some mistake that, I know some basics of C, C++, but I really feel now that in initial, start of my career, I should actually, actually take a grip on some coding language. I would advise everyone, please learn some coding language. Apart from Windows, please try to explore other operating system. Please learn Linux. I mean, this is the most important thing, I will tell everyone. And work on your basic, work on people should be very well versed with, TCP IP fundamentals, how a packet travels, very basic technical things, I'm telling. I remember I used to go to British Library. There were so many books I used to read on basic computer fundamentals that really helped me in my career. I remember there was a computer networking book from one of the author called Tannenbaum, I think, if I'm not wrong. So I remember, they used to ring topology, if you remember, all this network topology. That really works. It's not that some people say, hey, we actually read about all this OSI layer topologies. Is this really going to be useful when you are working in a practical environment? Yes, definitely useful. Definitely useful. People should learn the management skills. People should learn the risk and compliance skill. But for me, technical, basic computer fundamentals, that really important.
Very well said, Ravindra. I think that is the need of the hour, and most of the time when I have met people, and as you're saying, people have some saying that they want to become CISO, and for me, when I meet people, they say that we just want to be a hacker. We want to do ethical hacking, and for that, Bob suit is enough, right? And these Nessus or Nmap is enough, but they don't want to go into the fundamental, and they don't even try to understand cybersecurity in detail. I have been working with my team of interns, and when now they are understanding the architecture, they are understanding the risk management, the end-to-end full how cybersecurity works. They are like, oh, so we never thought that this is something we need to learn. So it's like For them, it's a bug bounty, or they just want to crack the functionality. They just want to, just buy somehow, make it or break it. So I always tell them, never ever think of breaking the things. Just see how these can be made. Right. Start
Yes.
your journey. Instead of being an ethical hacker, be a cybersecurity professional, or think about being that. That's a very, very well said and very good advice, Ravindra. So I think we have got a good oversight from your journey, that how, from a computer which you get at the late, at a quite late and in your life, and now being a CISO of a global organization. So how you feeling after being on Gaurav Batra's show? Have you ever thought that you will be on my show someday?
I was actually, I actually was thinking if this question will come, but I think it's definitely great. I, mention, and I think we all know we each other. I can see some of, other great friends are also, listening this show. I can see Dilip, I can see so many. Anis is there. Some of my team member, even I can see my sister is also logged in. So I think it's a great show. I think it's very important that, CXO people should come forward and share their journey with the upcoming generation, because people can learn from them, and people can actually take a good career advice. I think very much important. And I think thanks to you, I have been invited as a first guest, I think, and I was really scared. I'm still scared because rapid fire round is coming, but a great initiative, Gaurav, I must tell you.
Thank you, Ravindra. I think thanks for pointing it out. I think IGC. So most of the names I am seeing here are actually going to be in this show, guys. Please be ready. So you are going to see this rapid fire live. I will be having with you later. So after this rapid fire, I will open up the form. I will ask all of you to open your videos, and let's have a chat around it. So you ready, Ravinder? Let's
Yes.
see if you win a hamper or not. You have to be as quick as possible,
Okay.
and not thinking most of the
So
things,
any, but I mean, I have to be quick as possible, but no time limit. I mean, I can definitely answer. I mean, one question is really five
yes,
seconds.
you can do, but when I say that, okay, if I'm putting the question, so you have
Okay,
to
I'm
respond.
ready.
Okay, so okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Have you ever shared your password with anyone?
I think, sometimes you doesn't have any option when your wife asks what is your, phone password. Apart from that, I don't think so with anyone.
Cyber security or user experience?
I would say mix of both, because cyber security cannot run without a good user experience. So cyber security layer has to be built on a good user experience. I will go for both.
Okay, so you are taking a diplomatic round. Okay, here. How many interviews you have given so far?
So, I mean, if I will calculate around, 13, 14, but let me tell you, I think not, I think 12, 11. I failed in 7 interviews I mentioned, but believe me, after that, cracking that CMS computer interview, I never failed in any interview. By God
Okay.
grace, I think I'm.
Okay. Most asked question by a non-cyber security viewer.
Can you hack my ex Instagram account?
Okay. So if I
Yeah,
build,
really.
okay. So my next question will be, Ravindra, can you hack my wife's Facebook account?
I will not dare to do that. I know, Gaurav, he will kill me.
Okay. Most precious award so far.
I think there are many, but CISO of the year, I received it 2 times. I think that was definitely most precious.
Okay. Great. CISO of the years. Best book you have read until now?
There are so many. I mean, there are so many in my, I was also reading one of the book, 100 leadership session, I think 2 weeks back. But I remember when I was actually, some of my mentor gave me one book, Who Moved My Cheese. Very good book. Very good book. Us very, short story about, to basically read. But I think I recommend everyone, please read this book, Who Moved My Cheese. It really helped everyone to get us from there, get out from our comfort zone, which is very important.
Okay. So your experience as a CISO in one word.
A roller coaster ride, still going.
Signal or WhatsApp?
I would say WhatsApp. I mean, I know some people will kill me for this, but I think I found it more user friendly and easy to use.
So privacy, no care. Okay. Can you hack a mobile in a minute, like in a movie?
No, I'm not Bobby Deol of Ajnabi. I don't think so I can do that until I have a password of that mobile.
Okay. You are quite fast to correlate. Okay, amazing. How would you explain hacking and security to a 5-year-old?
Okay. So I will ask, I will ask a 5-year-old kid, would you like to share your chocolate with me? If you will not, and if you will not like, please don't share your password with anyone. Please keep it confidential.
Okay, that's quite quick one, Ravindra. I think that's a very, very, very valid way of explaining it. And so my last question to you is, what's your favorite and least favorite hacking scene from a movie?
Okay, I think you already mentioned about Swordfish. I think a fantastic scene. I also like that. I think least we can actually, see so many Bollywood movies, so many Tollywood movies where they actually take 30 seconds and you will see a screen, money getting transferred, zig, and it will be done. So there are so many.
Frankly, I have never seen that money getting
Ah,
transferred and taking so much time. And so many movies show that in Bollywood. Okay, so you know that processing. So money transferring is happening in a way of
yeah.
full process. So
Yeah.
that's I don't know if any banker can actually confirm from the back end they see that way, but front end we don't. So okay, Ravindra, you have been fantabulous here,
Oh,
and I think you have not taken a time for any of the question. Like you were quite quick, and definitely you are going to get a hamper.
thank you.
So that you will be receiving soon. And it was wonderful talking with you, Ravindra, and amazing session. You were quick, and I think everyone learns a lot from your journey. And so people who are just sitting in small town and say that the people in metro or the students who are studying in metro have an advantage, that's not there. That's a roadblocker in your mind that time. But if you want, you can actually learn anytime, and you can change your life anytime being cybersecurity. And you can also be a CXOs, or have a good job, good. You can have your own business, anything, any time of the life, and that's what is required. So thank you, Ravindra. It was wonderful talking with you, and
Same here.
definitely I love this conversation.
Same here, Gaurav. I think you have been a great host. I think much better than our current jar of coffee with Karan. But you really,
Thank you.
so but you really have been. And in the last, I mean, before we open this for in the last, I think one quick line I would say that I really believe that please, whoever coming from small town or maybe big town, or anybody who want to make career in cybersecurity, I think it's a fantastic field, but you really have to be keep learning every time. You really have to be in your toes. I think you have seen I've done multiple certification. I give myself one basically target every year that I will do this certification or training. I'm not saying certification is a add big values, but definitely you get something to read and study, I think, from that point of view. So I think we all should keep learning, don't quit. I think that is very important. And I think be humble and be actually attached to your roots. I mean, I remember I in the last be connected with the family, your hometown. And even I have if you will see the best of friends I have, they are still from my school days. I will still meet them irrespective. I'm working in a corporate world, or maybe one of the guys running a shop in my hometown. That does not matter. But I think our roots are connects definitely there. So don't, I think, forget that.
Amazing. And I think the certification point which you have added, that adds a lot of discipline in there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ravindra, overall. Thank you. Thanks for being in
So
InfoSec Tales with Gaurav Batra. People who are going, watching this on the YouTube right now, you can actually go in the comment section and ask your questions, either technical as well as, or if you want, you can ask the questions which you want us to ask our next guest in a normal, Tales form or in the rapid fire form. So we will be picking up the 3 best questions from the comment sections, and those 3 people will be rewarded with the CyberFrat goodies. So please do comment and like this video.